Welcome to the Blerdsnerds podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blerdsnerds podcast. I'm Shannon.
I'm James.
And I'm Jaja.
And we're back bringing you all our thoughts on everything happening in nerd culture. If you're new to the podcast and you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcast listening app of choice. What have you guys been up to this week? How are you guys? What's going on?
Great. Took some time off. Been chilling.
Oh, nice. From your on-call week.
Exactly.
Are you on call for 2 weeks at a time or just one?
Technically. So you're backup for 1 week and then you're primary for another
All
week.
right. I remember this. Okay. Cool. So you had a nice week. I also had a nice week. I wasn't off, but I wasn't doing anything because I was home with an injury. So it was almost like being off. But yeah. What are some nerdy things you guys have been up to?
Are you good? Everything's okay?
Oh, yeah. I'm better than I was last week. I'm still like not
Yes.
100% there yet. I'm like at like 80%, I think. But yeah, it's not as bad. I can move around, so that's good.
Yeah. It's been a pretty good week for me too. A lot of, especially in entertainment. This has been a pretty great week for me in entertainment, at least.
Okay.
I could start off the nerdy things. So didn't get a lot of TV, manga reading done. Didn't watch anything because these games were coming out that I knew was gonna take over my life. So earlier in the week, I did another chapter in South of Midnight. I believe I'm on chapter 8 right now. Still enjoying that. Expedition 33. No. First, Oblivion Remastered came out, and that took over the internet.
I heard.
Awesome game. 20 years in the making. We've been waiting for this. And they did a great job. But Bethesda games can be buggy. It has its faults, but it's such a good game that it like overshadows some of the technical issues, and hopefully they patch it up.
Wait, you've been waiting 20 years for the remastered version? Is that what you said?
Yeah, this game hasn't been touched in 20 years.
Oh God. And I'm sorry, you said you bought it and you were able to play it?
I did not buy it. I'm playing it on Game Pass,
Okay.
but it is a $50 game, and I believe I can upgrade to the deluxe edition for like $10 through Game Pass. So I plan to at least upgrade to the deluxe edition. But for anybody who hasn't ever played Oblivion, $50 for a remastered title, pretty good deal.
Yeah,
and then Game Pass, you can get it for even cheaper. And then Expedition 33 dropped, and that game I had to stop playing Oblivion to try this game, and think I'm going to focus more on Expedition 33 and South of Midnight and wait till they, see if they patch up Oblivion a little bit. But this game, Expedition 33, is killer app. It's going crazy. People are saying that it's Game of the Year worthy. I haven't got that deep into the game to formulate an opinion on that, but from so far, it's a pretty amazing game. Graphically, the story, just the intro to the story, like, is pulling on your heartstrings. Like, it definitely gives you like that feeling of like, whatever's out there, I'm taking it out because of the setup to the story. So, and then last but definitely not least, I saw Sinners last night in IMAX.
Woo!
In IMAX
Amazing.
too. Yes, sir.
Wait, let's save it because we're gonna talk about it later. So let's say I want to hear your opinions when we revisit it again. We're also gonna talk about Expedition 33 later too. So
yeah. So I mean, those are the three things that wraps up my nerdy things, but all three of those things are like tugging on heartstrings, and just like I've been on an emotional roller coaster this week. So
yeah. I can go next. So like I said, I had an injury, so I wasn't commuting to work. I wasn't going to the gym, so I had a lot of extra time on my hands. So after last week's podcast, I bought South of Midnight on Steam on my Steam Deck. And I played and finished it. So I'm done with I'm done with South of Midnight. As I said, I had so much time this week, so I was like, let me use this opportunity to get through some of this stuff. So I played it. Great game. The story is amazing. It's like one of those, it's like not super complex, which is great. It's like all like the main driver of it is the story. So then like the graphics and the audio, like you guys were saying last week. So I had a great time. The story was great, and it didn't take me that long. after I finished it, I think it was like 18 and a half hours that I had put into the game. So it's not long at all. So it was a great play. I enjoyed it a lot. So it's a great game.
So you
Uh,
got your money's worth.
I did get my money's worth. How much was it? $40? Yeah, definitely.
40.
Mhm.
Definitely got my money's worth. Yeah, there's a lot of like haters online. Like first of all, we started talking about it, and then like I had to stay off TikTok this week because like then like my algorithm became all about like streamers that were playing it. And I'm like, please don't spoil this for me. So I had to like stay off social media because that was what my algorithm became. Uh, but yeah, it like this game is getting like a lot of hate for like the obvious reasons, but it's a great game. Like there's great storytelling in there. And yeah, this, it's hard to I don't know, it's hard to come by that in a game that's so short. That's like really impactful, so it was good. What else? So after I finished South of Midnight, I went back to Assassin's Creed Shadows. So I've been playing that. I'm having a lot of fun playing that game. It's really cool. The map is massive. So I feel like they said it takes like 40 hours to like go through the story, but there's a lot of like the map is huge and there's a lot of like side content and stuff you can do. They're like 70 hours platinum, but people are saying that they've put in like over 100 hours into the game just like doing everything. And like I see where that comes from because I don't know exactly how much time I've spent playing it so far. Actually, let me check. But I've barely gotten anywhere in the story. So I think I've done like three main story missions so far, and I've like spent a lot of time on the game. So it's definitely a long game. Definitely one of those games that's worth your $70. Getting your time out of it. Let me see. Yeah, 20 hours so far I have in there, and I'm not super far at all in the game. So there's definitely a lot to do. It's definitely worth it. What else? I'm caught up on my weekly anime. So Windbreakers is back, so I'm caught up on that. Crunchyroll finally started working for me to let me watch something. Uh Even after I talked about it last week, I tried to watch something again like the day after, and it would not let me on Crunchyroll. I don't know why, but it finally worked like a couple days ago, and I was able to watch. And then I got in the mail my copy of Monsters We Make. So I
Nice.
started reading that. I'm on chapter 2. I'm not super far. I'm on like page 60. It's a pretty thick manga. Like mangas like some of them are this like it's thicker than a normal manga, so like it's pretty cool. So I started reading that. I'm still pretty early in the story, so you don't quite know what's going on, but it seems very interesting so far. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Those are my nerdy things for this week.
Nice.
Nice. For me, my usual weekly watches. So Windbreaker, Fire Force. I'm still keeping up with Lazarus. I like that a lot. And MHA Vigilantes. I didn't really watch much Moonrise this week. It's NBA playoffs, so I've been
Wait,
busy.
Vigilante started? Like the anime?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ah!
Yes,
Oh my God, what?
3 or 4
No.
episodes.
No, my
Yeah.
God, I'm so behind. Sorry, I
Yeah,
have
no,
to put that.
Vigilantes is well, I mean, I already know the story, but it
So do
started
I,
off well.
yeah.
So I think people that are new to it would enjoy it.
Okay, I have to put that
Um,
on my watch list. I didn't realize that it started already.
I
yeah,
think
it's
I'm
about
waiting until the
season
season
4.
finishes. I think I've read a lot of it, so
Yeah,
I want to binge it, but I'm pretty sure it's
Good
good.
call.
yeah. All right.
Um, I finished Trillion Game this week, so the dub finally finished. So I was watching the dub. So finished that. Well, this season, I don't know if they're going to do the next season. It hasn't really been announced, or at least I haven't seen. And then in my background watch kind of thing has been Apothecary Diaries, so I'm getting caught up there. I don't even know what episode I'm on, but I'm making my way through. I'm watching the dub on that one too. Um, Gaming wise, Rivals, it's a new season. Well, I mean, the new season's been going on for like 2 weeks now, but grinding my way back up, back in platinum now and ranked. I've been playing with the homies. We've been winning a lot. We're doing a lot of winning. So if they made any adjustments to the ranked system or matchmaking system, it's probably work because now we're getting actual fair matches. Before it was one-sided spankings and you had to hope you're on a good team. So now it seems like the matches are a lot more fair than they were previously. Um, Playing some more South of Midnight. I got up to I want to say either chapter 4 or 5, so I'm not all that far in there, but I was playing that, but playoff season, so I didn't have even though I was off, I was still had stuff to do, so playoffs. And then I got caught up in Chainsaw Man and One Piece manga. Uh, I think Kaiju number 8 is on like a break right now, but it's the last arc supposedly, so I haven't been able to read that. And I didn't do any physical like reading. So the book that I have checked out is Lakewood. I haven't even started it yet, so I probably should start that. So, but then also I got a new Spider-Man comic here. This one actually came out a couple weeks ago, but I forgot to pick it up. So
Nice.
Spider-Man, well, Miles Morales, he's with Thor, and they're about to fight Ares. So
Nice.
I gotta figure out what that's about. And the last one I read, some well, they weren't Greek gods, but they were, I don't know exactly how to describe what they were, but they weren't Greek gods, but they showed up after they were fighting Deadpool. Spider-Man and Deadpool were fighting, and then now I'll see what that story is about. But it looks like Thor is properly introduced now, and then since Miles technically is, I don't say he's a god, but he has a spider god in him. It makes sense that he's, interacting with more godlike characters now. So that's all my nerdy things.
Nice. Look at me. I started and finished the game before you guys. I feel this never happens, so I feel good about that.
Nice.
I mean, I always give you your props on finishing games.
I know.
You're pretty good at that.
I'm not good at finishing games, but this one I can add to my finish list. So, it's good. This is
You use your
actually
portal more?
yeah, I need to buy a stronger router. I think my router just sucks. So I've been researching like better routers, which routers are very expensive if you want like the good ones. That's probably why people's internet sucks most of the time because they're not willing to spend money on a good router. Um, but
I'm gonna send you a link on an extender that I use that
okay.
literally like it like creates your own hub and extends the internet signal from your router. So I'm gonna give you a link on that.
Extenders, so I've been looking into like mesh Wi-Fi systems, which are like kind of like extenders, but like not really. So the problem with extenders is like there's no good in between point, like where I like in my they say like you should put it like halfway between where your router is and like where you want the strong connection, but like there's no good in between point. But like with the mesh Wi-Fi system, you can like you can get the router and then you get like four like I guess ping points and you can like put those like I can put one in my room, I could put one like in the hallway, I could put one like you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I've been looking into stuff like that because I've tried to use an extender before, but like I couldn't find a sweet spot to put it that it actually like got signal to my room where the PlayStation is. So, but send it to me though. I'll look. I'm on a mission to
Mhm.
better the Wi-Fi in my home for sure. But it is not cheap. It is not cheap at all.
Yeah, and it also has to do with like the type of walls that are in your house and
Yeah.
certain things will block the Wi-Fi signal. So you just need that path.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep. So we'll see. But I've when I played Assassin's Creed Shadows this week, I tried to play it on my portal. I got I got some good time out of it, but then the Wi-Fi started acting crazy. Again, like you need like a really strong signal in order to get the best gaming experience out of the portal, which is why again, I'm glad I didn't buy it. It's not like it's a bad device. It's just that you have to like everything around you has to be working well for it to be working well. So, yeah. Word of
Have you
caution.
tried it outside on like different
No.
internets?
I've been
Okay.
nowhere. I've been nowhere yet because because of my back. So maybe next week. Maybe I'll bring it with me. Villain's Ball is this week on Friday. So when I go to
Okay.
DC, maybe I'll bring it with me just to test how it works on the hotel Wi-Fi. But yeah, no, I haven't used it like publicly anywhere yet. So,
Okay.
but we'll see. Okay. So really quick, let's talk about Expedition 33. Since we talked about that a little bit. Everyone's talking about this game. It's like the new hot game. It looks really good and the premise of the game sounds great. I wish I could play it, but again, it is turn-based and I don't know if anyone will ever bring me around to turn-based gaming. But it's it's only been out for a couple days and it has 500,000 copies sold, which is pretty good. It came out on April 24th uh for PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox. So 500,000 copies in what is that, 3 days, 4 days? It's pretty
4 days,
crazy.
yeah.
It's a pretty good number.
Mhm.
So I'm sorry, wait, Jaja, you played Expedition 33? So yes,
Yeah,
tell us
I've
about it.
played through the intro and the setup for it is really, really good. Very cinematic and the way they get you to care about the character and the things that are going on in the world is it's pretty heavy in the beginning. Like it's a pretty dark game. I don't want to give away too much of the story. But I would definitely like suggest people who like just want to try it out, maybe just buy a month or get a trial pass to Game Pass and test this game out. Like if you're not into JRPGs, I was talking to my cousin and
Mm,
she's just like you, Shannon. She's not into turn-based games at all. But I'm like, you kind of at least got to try this one. This one is like it's one of those that like it's really good. Like if you're not into it, then you're just not into it. But if you're gonna be into it, this is one of those that might pull you in.
Yeah.
The turn-based gameplay, it is turn-based, but they do have some elements in there to keep you. It's not like you're waiting for your turn. Like there's stuff you can do while the enemy is attacking you. Like you can dodge, you can parry their attacks, which are pretty cool. And
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm not too far into it, so I don't have not a lot of knowledge, but it's a beautiful game. Oh my God, the graphics are
Yeah.
crazy.
The story sounds really good. So when I think about like what the story's about, this is something that would probably make a good live action movie or TV show, not like some of the other stuff that they're adapting. But that's besides the point. It has a really good like plot, like an interesting plot point. So I'm like, this is cool.
Mhm.
Um and yeah, I really would like to try it. I guess maybe I'll renew my Game Pass subscription so I can try to play it that way, but I don't know. I wish like more like I wish on like PlayStation and like anywhere else you like whatever console you have, I wish you could like demo more games like before you commit to buying it. Like, oh, here,
Mhm.
you can play the first 20 minutes for free. Like
So
more
Yeah,
people should do
bring
that.
back demos.
Yeah.
that's the great thing about Steam. If you buy a game on Steam, you have I think up to 20, I forget how many hours you can play
Two
into the
two
game.
hours.
2 hours of
Yeah.
gameplay,
That's it.
or
Yeah, two
and
hours.
there's like a time limit that you have where you can just get a full refund if you don't like the
Yeah.
game. So
It's
Steam is really good for that.
yeah, it's 2 hours. So, because I bought Assassin's Creed Shadows first on my Steam Deck, and I didn't like the way it was playing on my Steam Deck. So, yeah, it's 2 hours. You have up until 2 hours, and then you can 2 hours of gameplay, and then you can return it. But I think like you can have the game. I think it's a month. You can have the game, but like if you actually start playing it, you can only have played 2 hours of it before you
It might,
in order for you
I
to.
think it's more like 48. I think it's like days or something. I
Oh,
don't know. I got
is
to
it
check
just?
the time limit.
I could be wrong.
But
Yeah, it could be
yeah,
days. I don't remember.
it's two
Yeah.
ways.
But like in terms of like gameplay though, like you have up to 2 hours of gameplay to like play it. But even before like the money comes out of your account, like more people should just embrace like you can play 20 minutes for free, like before you commit to anything, like a demo. Like more people should do that. Because why? Like games are becoming too big of an investment now, money wise, for me to just buy it without like without having any semblance or any knowledge of like if I'm gonna like it or if it's something that I'm into or not. Um, but luckily it's not too hard to return games, like even if you buy them digitally, but still, like with these 70, 80, $90 games, like you should, I don't know, try before you buy should definitely be more of a thing that I'm surprised is not a thing yet. So yeah. Uh, all that to say, if this game had that, then I would have loved to see if I would have actually liked it before I buy it. But
And it's crazy because people were actually worried that this game was going to get overlooked because Oblivion Remastered was shadow dropped right before it, even though like I've been wanting to talk about it for weeks. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks of at least people saying, "Oh, it's gonna be shadow drop this day, this day, this day," finding all these leaks for it. And I knew it was coming, and I was waiting for it every day. So
yeah,
but this game, I was not like gonna not play Expedition 33 just because Oblivion Remaster came out. Like this game was very highly anticipated. So I'm glad to see
yeah,
that it's doing good and it's a day one drop, on Game Pass at least.
yeah, it's doing really good. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I just need to be reintroduced to turn-based gameplays. Maybe all the turn-based gameplay games I've played have sucked, and maybe that's just why I don't like them. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but yeah. So we'll continue watching that. But yeah, it's a strong opening for that game, which is pretty good. Uh Ghost of Yo is it Yote? Is how do you say it? Is it Yote?
Yote,
Yote.
you said it right.
Yote. I said it right. Okay, great. Just want
Okay,
to make sure. So it got a release date. This is another highly anticipated game. And it's coming out on October 2nd. I know James is excited.
grilled.
Is that a release day
That's
purchase
a
for you?
pre-order.
Oh, pre-order. Are you gonna get the deluxe edition, James, for how much is it? $80?
I may as well. Well, now looking at the deluxe edition, it doesn't look like there's any. I mean, I can't tell how valuable these things will be in the game because usually the stuff
Mm,
that comes in the deluxe probably is not even the best stuff in the game. So,
yeah.
like, I mean, I'll just have stuff that I probably won't even be using. But um, if it came with some like collectible things, like the physical collector's edition, that looks more my speed because it's like stuff that I can have at home. But
How much is that? Like
uh,
$300?
probably so. It looks a little
Usually.
bit more expensive.
Yeah, collector's editions are usually that much. Then you get like a nice figurine, but you're out $300. Uh, this game looks so I have a question. So this is a follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, but it is a prequel. So I'm wondering, do I have to have played Ghost of Tsushima if I want to play this game?
It doesn't look like you do because it looks like it's separate stories.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Because like I don't have time to backtrack, but this game looks fun. So
I might replay Ghost of Tsushima.
really? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
I'm not
is
a big
James's. It is
replayer of
James.
things.
I know, but it's your favorite. Isn't this your favorite game? Or
I
up
think
there?
so.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely for sure. I'm not a big replayer of games either, unless actually that's not true. I've replayed lots of games. Um, so but I haven't replayed games that I've beaten, except Kingdom Hearts. That's the only game I've played over and over again. But yeah, I'll put this on my list for drop too. There's very few games that I'll buy on drop, but I'll buy this on drop. Uh, is this only on PlayStation, right?
Yeah, PlayStation
Okay.
exclusive.
PlayStation
Um,
exclusives.
No Ghost of Yotei for Jaja then. Sorry,
I,
Jaja.
I
Nope.
will. I think Ghost of Tsushima came to PC later on.
Yeah, that's how it usually
So I
goes.
mean, I imagine that'll probably still be the case. But
Yeah,
yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
definitely
I mean,
definitely getting this one.
I hate to be that guy, but it's to be noted that this is like one of the very few PlayStation Studio games to come out this year. So
Oh.
definitely PlayStation. I don't know where your games are at, but the other years I was salivating over your games. Now it's like, oh, I'm only missing one. All right, cool.
Not every you can't win them all every year, Jaja. Mm.
Yeah,
One could
it's been a good year for Xbox. I'm not gonna lie.
It's been a good year for Xbox, but the previous years weren't amazing years for X. You know, it's fine. We can throw the shade. The shade can go both ways.
But
It's fine.
this game does look really good. If I ever get a chance to, if hopefully it comes to PC at some point.
Yeah. It probably will if Ghost of Tsushima came to PC, like in a year or two after. It'll probably come.
I need Astrobot to come to PC. Oh my god.
Astrobot's not coming to PC though. It probably won't.
Astrobot
Um,
is indeed fire.
yeah. Oh, don't forget to bring Astrobot for me, James, when you take the Metro into DC.
Oh yeah, I gotta take it out of my
Put
PS5.
it in your bag. Put it in
Just still in the PlayStation.
Yeah,
put it in your bag now. Your unpacked bag. Put it in there.
yeah, it
Um
definitely is unpacked.
um okay. Let's go to another video game news. Assassin's Creed Shadows. It was a best-selling game in the US for March. So I think right now it's number so in March it was number one. I think right now it's number two. I don't know what it's behind right now though. Let's see. Um Should have written this down. I don't know what it's behind, but it was best selling for March, rightfully so, because again, like I said, it was a great game. And then number two behind that was MLB The Show, which I didn't know people still played MLB games. So this is news. That was news to me, especially that it was number two. Um, but you know what's also interesting in March, number 11, Minecraft still there, most likely because of the movie. But I feel like we've talked about this before, and we saw Minecraft on another top selling list. I just feel like Minecraft is one of those things that's always selling well, like for in-game purchases and things like that. So that explains why the movie is so popular, I guess. All right, are any of you gonna play Assassin's Creed, do you think?
Eventually
Watch
I
enough
feel like
streams, I might not end up buying it because I mean some of the streamers I watch have been playing it, so I've been
Just
essentially just watching it with them.
just
So
watching it. Yeah.
yeah,
I guess if you watch somebody stream something, it's like, do I really need to play this myself? You know?
yeah.
I I do have a fun fact. Like it relates to Expedition 33. So apparently Sandfall Interactive, the studio behind Expedition 33, is about 30 members of the development team is about 30 people, and most of them are ex Ubisoft employees.
Oh.
And the word is that this kind of game wouldn't be able to be made at Ubisoft because they're worried about AAA and going through all the red tape that has to do with that, and making they want big blockbuster games. So that's something to note that it's not the developers, maybe it's the business model, and
It's
but
always them.
It's
So
always
it's
the
yeah.
bit.
always an old guy in a suit.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by that at all.
that doesn't even enjoy the product that he's in charge of. It's
Seriously.
always that.
But that's with all big business, really. It's all about people who don't know anything, but yet are making the decisions. It's interesting. Um, all right. So Nintendo Switch, the pre-order happened this week. And unsurprisingly, I mean, I'm not really surprised. I guess we were just kind of waiting to see like how much people cared about how much this was going to cost, but clearly not a lot of people care because it's doing really well in pre-orders. So at least in Japan, so Japan got 2.2 million lottery applications to reserve the console. And then in the US, I don't think they actually gave us the numbers of the US. Oh wait, no. Uh Yeah, no, we don't have any firm numbers. But just 2.2 in Japan alone. In the US, it probably is around maybe I'm gonna guess maybe around the same number, maybe less, maybe more. But they're projecting that Nintendo could accumulate up to 6.6 million pre-orders before June 5th, which was higher than PlayStation 5 when it came out in its first 2 weeks. It sold 2.2 between 2.2 and 2.5 million systems during its first week. And PS4 had similar results. So, guys, all this to say, they can charge as much as they want to. People are still going to buy it. So, interesting.
I don't know. I mean, it's arguable because we know scalpers are in there,
That's
so
true.
we don't know
Yeah,
how much of this is scalpers and how much of these are actual people. But
that's true.
reports are like they're like we're having trouble, buying it, and sites are crashing, and
Yeah, I heard that too. Um,
so
I know a couple
it's
of people that pre-ordered it or that was able to pre-order it. I'm interested
yeah.
to see if this kind of cause any I think they're worried about like at launch, like people not being able to actually get it at launch because they might be
Mhm.
backlogged.
Yeah,
So,
they don't have this. They're saying that the supply is not. They're not going to be able to get everyone day one systems, and there's no way.
listen,
So
okay? I would be upset if I pre-ordered because when you pre-order, I haven't pre-ordered a console in a long time. When you pre-order the console, you're paying for it all up front, right?
pretty much, or
I
at
would
least
be
by the time you pick it up, I think.
okay, but like, okay, but I would be pissed if I pre-ordered it up front and I there was no guarantee I was gonna get my console at launch. Like, I would hate that. I
I
would
think they
be,
got to give you your money back if that happens.
yeah, I would be very mad. So, that's why I don't like pre-ordering things. I will say, uh,
You better off going to a midnight release. Release.
oh man, midnight releases.
Yeah.
I haven't
One of
been
my
to.
friends
They,
said he was going to do that for the Switch. He wasn't able to pre-order, so he said I might have to try a midnight release.
mhm.
God, is this 2004? I haven't been to a midnight release or something in
they
a very long
they're
time.
saying that Nintendo shipped more than 1 million handhelds to the U.S. in February, so they sitting on stockpile. So they got time to ship a little bit more, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah, so people are gonna do that. People are just gonna go and stand online. I wonder how much people are actually gonna do that. It's really a throwback to older times.
I wonder if that YouTuber is still like stand. There was a YouTuber who said, "I'm standing online from now," and he went to some GameStop and I don't know if he's still doing it, but
It's never that serious.
anything for the content, right?
It's never ever that serious where I will stand online for more than a couple hours.
Wow.
Huh?
I said that is wild.
It is. Actually, I did that once when I was in high school. It wasn't it wasn't actually no, I did it when I was in college. It wasn't for me. It was for an ex who really wanted a pair of sneakers. So I did one of those overnight stand on lines for a pair of Jordans that I didn't end up getting, which I was so mad. I'm like, I'm never ever doing this again. We got there like 1 a.m. And stood online literally all night just for like people's friends to like cut the line in the morning before the store opened, and then we didn't, and then I didn't get it. I was so pissed.
Yeah.
I was so
I
pissed.
feel
Sneaker
like
game was dirty back in the day.
I feel like we got Shannon stories on the pod of you like standing online for like pop pre like
Oh
that
yeah,
were coming out and stuff like that.
For the Mickey Mouse pops, but that wasn't like overnight. That was like for a couple of hours.
Okay.
That was at like yeah, and again, that was dumb of me too. But like I think we got there like what, like 5 maybe 5 a.m. So like that wasn't that bad. That was like a little bit of a stand online, but like I will never stand online overnight again. Whereas like literally from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. when the store
Mhm.
opened was crazy. But I have done that before, yes. I forgot what that was for the Mickey Mouse pops that was like releasing like once every 2 weeks. Yeah, I was standing online for those. or like
Ooh,
once a month. I was
you still got those pops, right?
Oh, of course I do. Of course.
Okay.
Can't throw those out. All the blood, sweat, and tears for what? I don't have them all though, because after a while I was like, I'm not standing online anymore. But
Mhm.
The price may have dropped. You may want to revisit.
I know. But I'm too old to do that now. So now I know better. But that was back when I was young, Jaja.
Back
I
in the
was
day.
I was a young soul who was spry and willing to stand online outside. Um, Sorry, where were we? I feel like I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Were we? Oh, Nintendo Switch. Right. So good luck to all the people that are planning to go to midnight release for Nintendo. Uh, you'll have to get there
One
earlier than
there's
midnight. Hmm.
one thing to just this is a like a little bit off topic, but one of the conversations going on this week with the pre-orders going live and everything, and with these games dropping out, Expedition 33 and Oblivion Remastered for $50, it's making everyone, well, some people are looking at these $80, $90 Nintendo games like crazy. Like you're getting a what was it, Zelda Breath of the Wild or something? Like if you buy for the Switch 2, it's gonna be like 80, 90 with the DLC and all that stuff. So everyone, some people are looking at Nintendo with the side eye right now. And if Microsoft keeps, I mean, Xbox, if they keep making their video games competitively priced and putting them on other platforms at those prices, it might cause a little stir.
But the thing is that like some people are giving it the side eye, but like, well, I don't know. I guess this is different. I'm interested to see how well Breath of the Wild does, like selling wise, like for the Switch 2. But it doesn't cost that much if you already have the game, right? Then you just have to pay to upgrade it, right? That's how that works.
I believe so. I
Yeah.
think it's like
Something like that.
just to
Yeah.
pay the upgrade.
How much does it cost to pay to upgrade?
It's 10 or 20.
Listen, I saw side by side comparison videos. It doesn't even look that different, honestly. Just play both of the, it's like, I don't know. But there's no reason for it to cost $90 when it's already out. Like why would you charge me that much? It doesn't make any sense. Um,
Oh, yeah. The well, with the announcement of Ghost of Yote, since they announced the price, it's coming out this October. It's still $70. So
yeah,
I think
70
people were like,
bucks.
"Oh, Nintendo, what y'all doing?" So
What
I
are
mean,
y'all doing,
some
Nintendo?
people people were rejoicing. They're like, I mean, we still get you know a legacy title at this point for PlayStation for 70.
70
Like, how
bucks, yeah.
can Nintendo decide? Yeah, Mario's just $80 now, guys.
Nintendo is just scamming. They don't need to charge $80 for that game. Like, there's no excuse that is valid for them to charge that much for that game. And yes, when I saw the price of Ghost of Yotei, I was like, oh, I said that too. I like breathed a little sigh of relief. I'm like, okay, it's still like the standard $70 price. Um,
I feel like the industry is holding their breath really for what GTA 6 is going to cost and
that's
when
true.
that exactly is going to drop because it's still slated for the fall of this year. I feel like it's going to be pushed back to next year, but
That game's not coming out in the fall. Like, I just feel like I don't know. If it was coming out in the fall, would I feel like would I don't know. We've gotten a trailer for it already though, right? Like a while ago. But we haven't had a trailer. Oh, we haven't had a trailer yet? Are you sure?
yeah, no update since that first trailer.
It's not coming out in the fall. I feel
But
like
does
if it was coming out in
GTA
the fall,
6
we would know about it. Hmm?
like does it really need marketing? Like they have the
It
development
doesn't.
studios and publishing studios
It
shook
doesn't.
about when to drop their games this fall.
It
So
doesn't. It doesn't. It could drop tomorrow without any notice and it would sell.
mhm.
Like people would run out. It would probably crash the internet if it dropped. You know, that's good marketing right there. They should just do that because they know they don't need it. I don't think it's gonna cost $100 though. I know we talked about that, but we'll
Yeah,
The
see.
trailer and price will drop as soon as we finish recording.
right? That's
That's
how
usually
it
what
be.
happens. That's always how it goes. Anything else about the Switch though before we move off the Switch? Stop scamming people, Nintendo. Stop it. Um,
He was going to buy it. I do want to see how well the games actually sell because they could sell all the consoles all day, but like, are people actually buying the games?
yeah,
That'll let us know if it's scalpers doing all the pre-orders or are there people that actually just want Switch 2s.
yeah. And good luck to the people that pre-ordered. I hope that you get your console on in a timely manner on launch day, but we'll see. Uh, okay. So just to follow up, we talked a little bit about Minecraft last week when it was at like 500 million, but it's now grossed 700 million at the box office, and it's closing in now on Mario, which is the highest grossing video game movie in the world. Uh, which was oh no, sorry, yeah. So it has another 279 million dollars to make before it beats Mario. uh, which grossed over 1.3 billion during its original run. Um, Minecraft, though, I think has made more money in less time. So, and it has a little bit more of a run left in the theater. So there's a good chance that it could take over Mario's spot. Does this movie deserve to take over? I know that we talked about this last week. Like, really, it's annoying TikTokers and Gen Z that are making this movie so much money, which good for them, I guess. But like, no one's seen this movie yet, have they?
I
Minecraft?
haven't. I have no intention of going to see this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I'll see it when
Well,
it
I'll
drops
see
on.
it.
I'll see it when it drops on streaming. I wonder if it's actually better than Mario, though. I don't think it is, but we'll continue to watch that. I'm interested to see like where it lands uh at the end of its theater run. But $700 million is a lot of money that I was not expecting this movie to make. But
Yeah, just even without seeing the movie, I don't think it deserves to be better than to grow higher than the Mario movie. But you know, who cares about my opinion on that? Like,
but you
it's gonna make
see,
what it's gonna.
I think that the TikTokers have tainted the movie for you, Jaja, because like maybe Minecraft is a great video game IP, so like maybe it is a good movie.
The movie reviews aren't good.
Oh, never mind then. So maybe not. I haven't even looked at the reviews.
They're
I'm gonna
really
say
bad.
it's another Jack Black movie. Jack Black was also in in Mario, so it just. But I guess you're right. I know somebody that saw it and they said it wasn't great. So I'll watch it when it drops on streaming because I'm curious to see. But yeah, $700 million for Minecraft. Uh,
It's got a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes,
oof.
5.9 on out of 10 on IMDb. Yeah,
That's
I'm
not
not
that's
one
not terrible.
to lean on critic reviews. I like the audience though is giving it a 4.2 out of 5. It looks like.
That's because the audience is going and throwing popcorn around. It's a fun time in the movie theater, apparently. So that's
Yeah,
why.
interesting time.
Um, all right, moving on to TV movie news. Oh,
Before we totally get off video games, real quick,
mhm.
I just wanted to mention because I was gonna mention this. I meant to mention this last week. There's an absolutely ridiculous spring sale going on Xbox right now. I think you have until the 30th, but there's some like deep discounts on some games, and like the prices that I'm seeing, like these rival like Black Friday sales. So anybody who's interested, check out that you can get like 90% off like some big games. Some of the newer games is not that crazy. I think they have some of the newer games are like 20 to 30% off, but like there's some you could get a lot of games for 85, 90% off right now. That's absolutely insane.
Is the sale gonna still be going on by the time this podcast drops?
Ooh, I forgot about that. I was so
Good,
mad that I
good
didn't
call.
mention it last week. That's why like it's at the front of my brain right now because I was like, yo, I gotta like say this. These the sales ridiculous right now.
Well, it may or may not be. So check, guys, and if it is, then good. Go grab something for the
Yeah.
Xbox One. All right. So in a movie that deserves all of the acclaim and the money that it's making. So Sinners earned this is the second weekend for Sinners in the box office. It earned $44 million this weekend, which I think is between an 8 and a 10% drop from the first weekend, which is the smallest box office drop for a major movie in modern history. So usually like a lot of movies, like it's all hype up front. So like you get a big opening weekend and then you get a severe drop off in the second weekend. That usually happens with Marvel movies a lot because again, it's all hype train. But for this movie to have the smallest percentage of a box office drop uh, in history is pretty big, and they said that there's a strong chance that this weekend the film could make more than it did last weekend, which again is also not something that happens so much anymore. So again, this movie's amazing, Jaja. You saw it. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on it.
So before I get into my review, the movie I went to go see it in IMAX, and this is like one of the most packed movies that I've been to in Florida. Usually the movies are not this packed. Maybe it was the location of the movie theater I went because I went to the Point on iDrive, so I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's usually packed. But and another thing, I know we talked about a similar article last week saying that it came out and made this much money and it needs to make this amount of money to reach the budget that it spent on it. And I think that was the New York Times and Variety said something about that. And they're getting flamed online because
Oh
of
yeah,
the
for their
shade
like yeah, for their
that
shady
they
headlines.
throw in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, why are we even talking about that? We should be talking about the movie and how it is. So,
Yes.
so people are watching how much money this movie makes for some reason, and it's a little bit interesting the way they doing it to this movie compared to other movies.
Yeah, of course.
That aside, Ryan Coogler, shout out to that man. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. He is like our modern day Spike Lee, I feel like.
Mhm.
And like this movie, like I'm at a loss for words for this movie, to be honest. Like I'm gonna get completely like vulnerable right now. Like I was watching the movie, enjoying everything about it, from Michael B. Jordan. Like I can't even joke about Michael B. Jordan's acting anymore. Like that's not even funny to me. He
Neither can
killed this role
I. Yeah.
as twins, as two people.
Yeah.
Like he destroyed this role. And I'm a big gangster, like film and show person. Like he didn't even have to prove his gangsterness. Like you can just tell from the way he talks and the way he carried himself. And like he killed that role. Um, what else? And then I was really paying attention to the IMAX like film when it opened up and when it was closed in that IMAX film. I don't know what to call it. I'm a lot of loss for words for it. And that scene when they're actually, spoiler warnings, whatever, they're at the party and it does that one pan around the dance floor and it
Yeah.
shows like they mentioned that they talked about music like transcending time, past and present, and it looks like spirits were summoned during that party from the future, from the past, like just showing the evolution of like music and culture in general. And there was a lot in there that like I like like not understood, but just hit me real hard. Like I know people who do African dancing and African drumming, like that was included in there. I loved all of that. And and on a surface level, yeah, I could see it being like, okay, this is a vampire movie. And I think it's a pretty cool vampire movie, even though like vampires weren't like that huge. But on the surface level, yeah, it could be looked at as a vampire movie. But I feel like this movie has so many layers to it and perspectives, so many conversations you can have from this movie.
Yeah.
By the end of it, but it ended, and then I waited. Did y'all wait for the both credit scenes?
So I only
Yeah.
saw the mid-credit scene. I didn't know that there was one after that, so I missed the last one. I found that out like a couple days ago. I was like, oh.
So, I mean, you didn't really miss that much on the last one. I'll spoil it for you for right now. Spoiler
Yeah.
alert. They showed Preacher Boy in the church, clean clothes, and he was just like playing this little out of mine on the guitar, and then he looks up like towards the end of him singing it. It's not anything crazy. But
Okay.
that first post-credit scene where they met the famous blues singer, I forget his name. What is his name? We gotta say his name. We gotta shout him out. He's a famous like Chicago blues player, and I think he even plays still in Chicago.
Oh, you
But
mean that you mean the actor, the actual actor's name?
yeah, because he's a real blues magician. The
Musician.
guy,
You said
the
magician.
musician, the guy that was in the blue suit at
Yeah.
the end,
Hmm.
he's like a really, really famous blues player. Um, and that whole scene where he sees Stack and the girl that Haley Steinfeld was playing, and then they talked about like that the part where they were like that before the party got crazy, that was like the best moment of their lives. They felt free and all that stuff. Like I don't know. And then the credits came on, and then it was playing this song, "Set Us Free." Waiting for the second post credit scene, I'm like this because my eyes were like full of water. I don't know what hit me. Like
Aw.
a lot of stuff just hit me at that moment, and at that, it made me shed a tear. And like for the rest of the night, I was kind of like every time I thought about this movie, I was get really emotional about it. And it's like a whole bunch of emotions, from anger to sadness to happiness to pride to it's like there's a lot in this movie. Like this is in my top movies of all time that I've seen at least. Like it's up there. I got to give Ryan Coogler his props. Michael B. Jordan killed it. Um, there's a bunch of people in this movie that need shout out. Our homegirl that was in Loki, she destroyed. I
Yeah.
liked her in this
Yeah.
movie. You got to see like her, like I don't want to say sexy side, but she was like somebody's partner. Like she was
Mm.
this main character's partner, and then you see her motherly side too. Like, oh my God, it was an absolutely. And then got to give shout out to Haley Steinfeld because I know I killed her in Hawkeye. I actually didn't kill her in Hawkeye. I killed her character in Hawkeye. I remember saying that. Like, she played the role that they wrote for her, and she was supposed to be annoying, and she did it. But I totally love her in this film. She killed it. The chemistry between her and Michael B. Jordan was, you can feel it. It was electric. I feel bad for Josh Allen. They had to postpone their wedding. Hopefully everything's good over there. but yeah, this movie, like I feel like I'm definitely gonna watch it again. I don't know if I'm gonna do that before Thunderbolt come out this Friday or after, but
Oh my
he's getting
God.
another movie ticket after me. I mean, he's getting another movie ticket purchase out of me. This movie, I'm already saying it's gonna do better than last weekend. I know because the word of mouth on this movie is going around like crazy. I'm recommending it to everybody I know.
Yeah.
So
I don't think
enough
anybody
can't be
leaves
said.
there not
Huh?
convinced that it's a good movie. I said I don't think anybody leaves there not convinced that it's a good movie.
Well,
Well,
I have seen some people, not in life, just on the internet, and I'm like, that says, oh, this movie is boring. I'm like, if you think the movie's boring, then you really weren't paying attention to what the movie is actually about. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Sorry. Those are only a few and far between. But yeah, I do tend to roll my eyes at people like that. Uh,
The
but
blues singer Jaja was mentioning that had a role in there at the towards the end. So older, little Sammy, his
mhm,
name is Buddy Guy. So he's an actual blues
mhm.
musician from Chicago.
Yeah, nice. Actually, I've heard of him, so that's why I didn't
You
know it
listen
was
to
him.
blues, Shannon?
No, but I've heard his name before. Um, I've heard his name before,
yeah,
so
he's super famous, and he's
yeah.
still like, I think he has I don't know if it's the place that was featured in the movie, but he does have like a blues place in Chicago where he still performs. And I think the band is
Yeah.
called Her Lines, the same name that it was in the movie.
Yeah.
So they pulled a little bit from that real life. And the actor, what's his name that played the preacher boy?
Miles Canton.
Yeah, when Miles Canton, when he started singing in the first part of the movie, when he first started playing the guitar and we first heard his voice, I wasn't expecting him to be that good. He was really good, and he's actually a real musician too.
Yeah,
So
he toured with her on her
yeah,
on yeah for a while. He is really good. He is spectacular. I was reading an article that he wants to play Miles Morales. I'm like, I think his voice is a little too deep to play Miles Morales, but he was great though. For this being his first movie, like he did really really well. Hmm. Um, yeah, I like
so
him a
the
lot.
actress's name that played Smoke's wife, Wunmi Mas.
Oh yeah, she's great. I love her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's amazing.
she was in
She's
Did you watch Lovecraft Country? That was where I first saw her in
yeah.
that show. Yeah, she's really good in there. Yeah,
I'm glad she's getting as many roles as she is because she's phenomenal.
yeah,
And then gotta shout out Delroy Lindo who played Delta Slim. He's like an OG actor that like, oh my God, every time I see this guy,
yeah,
he's
Yeah,
killing it.
Delroy Lindo does not miss.
yeah.
Not at all. He
He
don't
was
play
great.
no games.
He was great.
So
Um, but yeah, it was a fantastic movie. And yeah, like you said, I don't really think of this movie as a vampire movie because when you think about the overall plot of the vampires, it's like it's not really even the biggest point of the movie. Like it's there, like it is a point, but like there's a lot of layers and there's a lot of different themes, like you said, that go through the
yeah.
movie, and it's like vampires are kind
And
of like the secondary part of it all.
I was just saying, like, if you want to look at it that way, you can, but you can also look at that whole vampire thing as like a metaphor for something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I like that they made it a big deal about, the vampires have to be let in. And that was a whole thing that you can interpret many different ways when it comes to like Black culture and cultural appropriation and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And like, I don't even want to call this a musical because like the muse for me, a musical is like when they start breaking out a song and dance when you wouldn't do
Well,
that in real
yeah,
life.
that's what I was trying to
But
tell you last week
this,
when we kind of said it
oh
and you kind of like
God.
made that face. I was like, no, 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 it's not like it's not a musical in that sense.
Even the whole scene where they did it outside and it was like the quote unquote Irish white version of it. It was still like, listen, this fits perfectly. I love everything. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed this movie a lot, and it touched me. And yeah, this is a very important film for just Hollywood in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah,
More original stories, please.
Yes,
yeah.
please. More original stories. I was
So
reading that like this is like the first original that can't be right. Wait, I hold on. Let me look that
the
up real quick.
original story by Ryan Coogler.
No, 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 no. Um, hold on.
I know that like this was his first Fruitville Station was like a kind of like a real life story that he made into a movie, and then Black Panther, we know Black Panther's from the comics. I feel like this is one of his first like unique ideas that he's putting on film. And then I watched his interview with on All the Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
He explained like how he pulled from his uncle who was a blues who used to like the blues and drink whiskey, and he explained a lot of the stuff that he pulled from for this movie. And
Yeah.
I also watched Spike Lee's. They interviewed Spike Lee on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, and Spike Lee was pretty much raving. He said when he went to the screening, Brian Coogler invited him, that he felt like he was courtside at a Knicks game. And if anybody knows how much of a super fan Spike Lee is for the Knicks, like that is not a light statement right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially from Spike Lee. So that's pretty high
So
praise. Yeah. Okay, wait, sorry. So the film is on pace to become the first original film since Disney's Coco 8 years ago to gross 200 million domestic. Uh,
hmm.
so original IP, again, there's not a lot of creativity flowing around through Hollywood now. So like there's not a lot of when you think about like the original movies that have come out, like there hasn't been anything really that has been like this impactful. You know what I mean? So like this is definitely like noticeable and like I'm not surprised really at all that like this movie is the first movie since a movie that came out 2018. What was that like 7 years, 6, 7 years ago? Something like that. Can't do math right
7
now.
years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's saying a lot really about where the movie industry is right now. But yeah, it's a great accomplishment. I want to see it again too, Jaja. I don't know when I'm gonna see it because you just reminded me that Thunderbolts comes out this weekend. I completely forgot. Um, so I have to go see that too at some point.
I hope it blows all the money numbers out the water. I feel like, yeah, a lot of people underestimating this film, and I feel like the more time goes on, it's gonna be like that snowball avalanche that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Because they're
Yeah,
saying like internationally, it's not doing too well right now, but
of
I
course.
feel like it's gonna pick up pretty soon.
Yeah, but this is like one of those movies where it's like it's going the opposite direction of most movies. Like I was saying, like most movies, like they make a lot up front in the first weekend, and then like it kind of just drops off. But like this because like this is so strong, like word of mouth, as we saw this weekend. It's on track to make more than last weekend. I feel like it's gonna kind of continue to do that because I feel like you're gonna have a lot of people seeing it again, and then like people like talking about it more and more and more, and like more people are gonna go see it. So I'm very interested to see how it does like next weekend and the weekends after that, like how it tracks in the box office. Because that would be crazy if again it makes another 44 million like consistently like the next couple of weekends. That would be like pretty historic too. So yeah, we'll see. But it was a great movie. I'm glad you liked it, Jaja.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Even
was.
even shout out to Jack O'Connell who played the main vampire. Like
Yeah,
he killed that role
yeah.
too. Like I have
Yeah,
nothing bad to say about this movie.
yeah.
There's, I mean, I feel like there's stuff I could nitpick at, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. The movie's a masterpiece.
Yes. There's always stuff to nitpick at in a movie. So I had stuff I could nitpick at too, but like not really. Like in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. Like the movie was great.
Right.
Yeah, the movie was amazing. All right. Anything else about Sinners before we move on to other things that are not as good?
I hope we get a Sinners too. I'll tell you that.
Really, you think it needs a sequel? I don't know. I don't think so.
I listen. Any way that I could give this franchise more money, it deserves. Like come.
But Ryan Coogler will make
There.
another great project. I don't know if like what do you think, James? Would you want a sequel to this movie?
I don't think I need it, but if one came out, I would for sure see it. Because I'd be
Yeah.
like, all right, what's happening now?
I wonder what a sequel would be about. I guess it would follow. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
All the
Yeah,
remaining
like
vampires?
Yeah.
I'm on par with James. Like I don't need it, but if it came out, it's getting some money from
Yeah,
me.
Yeah,
it,
of
it,
course,
it-
of course.
it's getting my $35.
And I'm also going to be paying attention to anything Ryan Coogler is doing from now
Oh
on.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
that was always the case.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, for sure. Um, all right. Well, it's time for us to move into the dreaded live action remake corner, where Netflix has announced a live action series that's going to be called Bet, which is based on Kakegurui. I was confused when I saw this because there is already a live action Kakegurui that's on Netflix. So they're making yet another one. And when I saw this headline, I thought this was reading as BET because it was all like it's all caps, like the title. So I'm like, what is happening right now? And I was like, oh, it's the name of the show. I don't know if any of you watched the trailers or have any of you even watched. Have any of you seen Kakegurui?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Did you watch the trailer for this, James?
Nah,
Okay.
yeah,
James is like
was not interested in a live
James
action.
is like
The anime
that
was
doesn't
cool, but yeah,
yeah.
that doesn't seem like something that I would want to see live action.
No, 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 no. Yeah, so it looks like they're changing a lot of elements too. Like they changed the name of the school. There are like different characters that are in it. Like there are some characters that are based off of the original characters, but then there are like a lot of new characters. So it's kind of like they just took this and put like their own spin on it. I'm gonna watch it just because I'm gonna watch the first episode just because I'm curious. The trailer kind of piqued my interest a little bit just in a way that like I just want to see if this is any good. So I'm gonna when it comes out, I'm gonna see if it's any good. But I don't. We'll see. Um, there's not too much like I feel like this is something if done right, it could be done well because there's not a lot of like CG or like anything like that. Like it's a good premise to make a live action off of, but I'm just wondering why. I feel like at this point, and again, this is like back to us like where there's like a lack of creativity in Hollywood. I feel like people are just like seeing what IP they can buy for cheap and just buying it, like buying the rights to it and just doing stuff because it's cheap. Like, okay, guys,
I think
what can
that's
we,
what it is.
yeah, what can we purchase today that's not going to cost that much money? Where like the legwork is already done for us and we don't have to do that much, but like
Yeah, they have an
revamp the
existing
script.
fan base already. Let's just
Yeah,
milk them.
I think that's what's going on, honestly. And like that's creating it's kind of it's like when I think about the live action and remake crisis that we're in, it kind of like I think about AI. You know how like AI is just making things easier for people and then like people just forget how to do things on their own because AI is there. I just feel like when people just are failing to create original ideas because there's already things out there that they can just take and build from, that's the same thing. People are going to forget how to be creative. So we should definitely, it makes me all the more grateful for people that are still making original things. Again, like Ryan Coogler, uh, and Sinners. But it's like, that's not happening that much anymore. Like it's all, like literally you look around, everything's based on something. Everything's a remake of something. Everything is like pulling from something that already exists. So this is just the industry that we're going down now. That's my spiel. I've said this already,
Yeah,
but like it's more evident that it keeps going in that direction.
I
Um,
do wonder who like because this show wasn't like hugely popular like that to the point
yeah,
where someone's like, oh, yeah, yeah, live action make total sense. And
especially
isn't
since there's
there?
already
Well, there's an existing live action
yeah, there's
already,
an
so it's like,
existing one.
well,
So for them to
why
like
do we want
take
to
it
redo
and
that?
right, for them to like take it and do it again, like it's not a bit like you said, it doesn't have a huge fan base. Like I understood when they did Death Note, there was already a live action Death Note. It was like it was a Japanese version, but then they Netflix took it and like made like more of an Americanized version. But like Death Note has a big fan base, so it's like okay, cool. You make it twice. But like you said, Kikiguri, there is a fan base obviously, but it's not like huge IP. So like, why this? But like, again, that's what I'm saying. It was probably cheap to grab the rights, so they probably just grabbed it. It was like, let's do it, guys. That probably is what happened, and I think that is what's going on here. Uh, which is not great, but that's where we are. Uh, Josh, are you gonna watch it? No.
Um, no, I haven't seen this manga. I mean, I haven't read this manga nor watched the anime, and I was a little bit confused, like you said earlier, about the. It looked like it says it's PET, but it's
Right.
the name of the show is called Bet.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
about a gambling manga. So I guess I should check it out as someone who like participates in sports gambling. So maybe I'll check out the manga or the original anime. But yeah, this
It's
movie is
very different.
not. It's not. I'm not hyped for it.
It's a very it's a very weird anime. Just if you're gonna watch it, just throwing that out there right now. But
Gotcha.
um, but yeah, why Netflix? Why? But I mean, there's so many other things. I mean, I'm not a big fan. We all know I'm not a big fan of live action adaptations of anime, but I feel like there's just better things you could have pulled from. But I'm gonna see if it's any good. We're gonna see. Um, and then in continuing in live action remake corner, uh we learned that Split Fiction, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Split Fiction is getting a live action movie. The game is like still fresh on the press, uh, but they're making a movie and they've cast Sydney Sweeney in it. And then it's going to have John Chu, the director. He directed Wicked. He's going to be the director for it. But again, like, why? Why are we doing this? Why is it necessary?
Yeah, I think we mentioned this when we were initially talking about split fiction of like
Yeah.
this maybe would not work in movie format. I'd
Yeah.
have to go back and revisit, but yeah, like I think the point of it is, co-op playing experience in a
Right.
game.
Like,
I don't know how we can make that a movie, but if someone's creative enough to pull it off and make it look cool, I guess. But
yeah. Because, like, if I'm not looking at a line down the middle of the screen where it's like two different things on each side, then, like, how are you going to properly translate this into a movie? Like, how? I mean, John Chu's a good director, so I guess, like, we'll see. But it's just like something like, I don't know how you pull that off well, unless like the movie is gonna be about is gonna be about a different part of the game. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think it's something that's gonna translate well because it's like how do you do that? How do you do
Yeah,
that properly?
a lot of the stuff that I've seen online are pretty much echoing that opinion. Like, how is this gonna translate into a movie?
Yeah.
Like, we get why it's good as a video game with the co-op split screen action, and the story just ties
Hmm.
into the co-op so well that like a lot of people are having trouble seeing this as a movie, but of course they're gonna give it a shot.
Yeah. Um, for sure. But again, I'm surprised they already have casted someone in it. Like this just feels very fresh. So I guess
yeah,
we'll
like they're not wasting no time.
they're like none at all. So I guess we'll see like what happens. Uh, I'm not gonna see it, but
I feel like after this
Yeah, I saw
Minecraft
that.
movie, profit numbers, they're gonna be running to make video game movies all over the place. Just no reason for no
Yeah,
reason.
I mean, it's already
make one for South of Midnight.
yes, that is what you see. This from good thing that would make a great
Yeah,
story because it has a good story and it's something that's easily adaptable. But you know what? They're not gonna do that because everyone's racist. But get a good black director. Get Ryan Coogler to do it. He'll do it well. Uh, lots of other black talented people that
Oh,
could take that game and make it like a good like
what?
actual live action story.
While we're on the subject of South of Midnight again, I forgot to mention while we were talking about Sinners, did y'all pick up that what's her name? The wife of Smoke, who I was just saying that did a great job. That she
Yes.
mentioned that she confused the vampires for haints in the beginning. I was
Oh,
like,
did she?
oh,
yeah.
she called them haints. I was like, the haints, I know what a haint is. I thought that
Wait,
was
did
so
she though? That's so cool.
She
yeah, she
did.
was
Yeah,
calling them haints before she
Yeah,
figured out they were vampires. She was like, oh, they're not haints, they're actually vampires.
that's cool.
And then she explained the difference between the two.
Yeah, that's very cool. But
Mm-hmm.
South of Midnight would translate very well into like an animated movie. It would be a disservice not to make an animated movie just because the animation in that game is really good. Like, don't make it
yeah.
live action. Like, who wants to see that? But
Let me look up how much it costs to buy the rights.
oh, oh, there you go, James. Get into something new.
Yeah, I'll sell
It's
it to a studio.
I think that they should, if they make it a movie too, I think they should keep it in the stop frame art style that they did the game in.
well,
Because I
yeah,
actually
yeah,
went into the options and turned off the stop frames and tried to play it like smooth. Like it looks beautiful, smooth. But there's something about that stop frame
yeah.
art style that just makes it fits so good with this game.
It's super unique. And like, yeah, it's not something that you really see like a lot right now. So I was really taken aback by the art style of it, and yeah, just like the music too, like the sound, like everything's great, everything's great. And it's really cool. Like everything that's based, every like character that's in there, is based on like a real like folk myth, like Southern like folk myth, like like let me not spoil it because
Did you?
you guys are different points of
Without
view.
spoiling anything, Shannon. How did you feel about the stories? Like going through these chapters, like these stories are like breaking my heart. Like that's what I was
Oh
saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
So
emotional.
it's not
yeah,
Very
like
happy.
emotional.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it would translate because like the story is really there's like a lot of grief. It's like based around grief. There's like a lot of sad stuff in there. Um, yeah, there's a lot of like it's like kind of dark at points. Like if you just going through the lore. Yeah, it was really good. And it's a shame that it's not doing better, like sales wise. Um, because it's not doing super well in Steam sales right now. Since it released on Game Pass, we don't really know like how many players it has on Game Pass since they don't publish the numbers. But it's a shame in that regard because it is
Just
really
from
good.
the reviews that I've seen, like yeah, we getting a lot of negative, but there are also people giving it positive reviews. Like it's very
Yeah,
mixed for this game. So hopefully the Game Pass numbers reflect that, and it did what it needed to do to be a
yeah,
successful game. And hopefully Compulsion
yeah.
Studios are able to, make
Because
another one.
it's like a cute little game. Like the gameplay is not super complex. Like it actually, I would say the gameplay is a little repetitive at times, but the story, the story driver aspect of it, and just like exploring the world aspect of it, kind of overrides that. Like I had fun playing it. Like, and it's not too
Mhm.
long, so like it doesn't feel too repetitive to a point where it's like I can't play this anymore. Like it's not a long game, you know what I mean? So it's
And
good.
I
It's excellent for what it is.
and I was gonna say like you get most of her abilities, the main abilities, like really quick in the beginning. Like I guess that I feel like that's what make people think it's like repetitive because you have all the abilities at the
Yeah,
start. So like you're using all these, but if they would have just dragged that out a little bit and made the abilities come over further chapters. I
yeah.
mean, I like it the way it is right now, but like I feel like that's kind of what they're like the repetitive thing because you have all the abilities, so it's like whatever you like the best, you're gonna keep using that to beat
Yeah. And
the
it's just
enemy.
like the fight like the boss fights are different. So I enjoy the boss fights, but it's like all the like fights in between there, like fighting the hates and stuff like that is the repetitive part to me because like it's all the same, like every like throughout the game. But again, it's not a long game, so it's like it's not that big of a deal in my opinion. I so like this is it's also a pretty linear game, right? So like there's not a lot of places you can go. I thought I did a pretty thorough job going to every looking cranny that I could go to
Same
get
here.
like all the things to get like all the things to like upgrade your skill tree. But by the
Mm-hmm.
end of the game, freaking I only had 25 out of 40 achievements. So I'm like, what the heck? So it's just like I thought I did a pretty good job. Um
Yeah.
and like one of the achievements was to like find, I think they're called floofs or whatever they're called, to like find all the floofs in the game.
Oops.
And I did not get that achievement. And I was like, but where were they? Like I thought I went everywhere that I could go. And like
Yeah.
another one was to find all of the, like the green things that like you collect three and then your health bar gets longer.
Mhm.
That was
Yeah.
another achievement. And like I didn't get that one either. And I'm like, but where were these things? I was confused. I was kind of mad actually when I finished and saw that I only had 25 out of 40. I was like, what the hell? But whatever.
I have a similar take as you. Like I there was chapters that I didn't get all the notes to,
Yeah.
the note, but I'm like I tried to explore everything, the little bit of exploration they let you do. I thought I
Yeah.
did a good job, but I'm missing this note. Oh well.
Yeah, it's like I went every time there was another path to go down, I like went down every path that was not the main path. I thought I did at least, but
Mhm.
yeah, it was like and like there were like I remember seeing some things like in the beginning that I couldn't get to. Like I remember seeing like one floof that was like really high on a ledge like before you get the double jump ability. So I'm like, okay, but I can't get that now, but it doesn't let you go back. So I'm like, how am I supposed to go back to like it's very confusing. Somebody that's
Is there
like
a new game plus?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I don't know. But anyone that's finished this game 100%, please tell me how you managed to collect everything because I'm dying to know. Please let me know. Because I was actually pretty mad. I thought I did pretty well in terms of achievements, so that bothered me because I like to be a completionist when I can be. And I feel like this is I've thought this was an easy game to be a completionist for, but I was wrong.
Right.
So it's fine. Um, but yeah, it's a very good game. For the people that are hating on it for no apparent reason, just play it.
Well,
Give it a
we know
try.
the reason.
Oh, that's true. We do know the reason. Stop being racist, people. It's 2025. Uh, but we're in Trump's America, so whatever. Uh, and then lastly in our rundown, and speaking of, well, this is not really a live action or a remake, but they are making a movie apparently based on Toys R Us. Is this a Mattel movie? Uh, no, it's not actually. Uh, but when so a movie about Toys R Us is being made, and when they're describing it, they said that they're taking inspiration from things like Night at the Museum, Back to the Future, things like Barbie, stuff like that. So we don't really know what it's going to be about. There's no like plot. I can kind of imagine though. if they're taking inspiration from that at the museum, I can already see where this is going. Uh,
Right.
yeah, but it could be interesting. Toys R Us is a nostalgic moment in our lives, an era that has come and gone. So it could be pretty nostalgic if they do it correctly. So I would see
Yeah,
it
I
maybe.
didn't. This didn't make sense when I first saw the article, but then when I'm reading that they took the inspiration from Night at the Museum, I feel like you can make a Toys R Us Night at the Museum movie and make it
Yeah.
interesting.
I would go to watch a movie about Toys R Us. I Toys R Us was a great era of our lives, guys. I don't even understand where kids get toys from now. I mean, I guess like Target and like Walmart and the places that have toy sections, but like I feel like it's not as robust as it
Yeah, like a
was.
dedicated toy stores. Yeah, I'm not sure if there are any.
I don't think there
Well,
are
I mean,
any
I don't see
anymore.
them. Not, but I'm not on the
No.
lookout either, so I wouldn't know.
I think they're like independent. I think they're like small, like independent, like toy stores, but there are like no big chain toy stores anymore. Um,
The closest thing you get to toy stores these days are like the toys and video game section of like Walmart or Target,
yeah, that's what I'm
those types
saying.
of
Like they're
things.
not.
That's the closest you get to it now.
But maybe that's all you need because like now in a digital era where like everything's about video games and tablets and screens, like do people even play with like how much are people even playing with toys now? I feel like it's all about electronics, which is kind of sad. But I feel like that is why Toys R Us like couldn't thrive in this modern era, but like it thrived back then when when we weren't leaning so much on electronics and we were more in the toy game. Um,
I feel like they do still have those toys that go viral. You know how when you were a kid, there was a toy that you had to have, and then there was a
yeah.
next toy that you had to have. It still happens,
What was
but
it?
it's less pronounced than back in the day.
What was a toy that you had to have when you were a kid that
As a
you can re
kid,
that you can remember? Yeah.
the toy that I just bought at the last con, the Power Ranger with the flip head, that was a
Okay,
toy
okay.
that everybody had. You had We had the Tamagotchi Gigapet era.
Yeah.
We had
But like,
the
yeah, what was one that you had like a really fond
spinning,
memory of, I guess? Yeah.
the sleeping yo-yos.
hmm
Remember when sleeping yo-yos were a thing?
I don't know what that
And you
is.
used to
What is
do
a
all
sleeping yo-yo?
so the yo-yos that
Trick
like instead
yo-yo.
of bouncing right back up, they like stay down for a minute, and then you could do all types of tricks. You
Oh,
could
I
walk
had
the
one of
dog. You
those.
could do the elevator.
I had one of those. And I remember getting one and I was not as impressed as I was by the commercial. But I do remember them
When
though.
Razor scooters came out, that was a huge thing. Razor scooters went crazy when they first came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what other toy. There was a bunch of them.
James, do you have any toys that like you have like a specific sharp memory of a time that you got the toy and you were very happy?
Yeah, Beyblades for sure. I watched the Beyblade anime that came out. I was like begging my parents to go to Toys R Us very same day. I was like, I need this. We went, put them together. I was having the time of my life.
Nice.
Yeah, Beyblades was so good that it got a show. The show came after the toy, right? I'm pretty sure.
I seen the show before I had the toys.
Okay, okay. I don't know which one
Yeah,
came out first. I
the
feel like the
show is what
toy
made me want
became
the toys.
right, right. Beyblades was it. Like Beyblades is another one.
I have a very fond, very sharp memory of something called a Wove Love. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it was a very creepy
No
looking toy.
idea.
Now that I'm looking back on it.
Remember
Um,
Tickle Me Elmo?
well, yeah, I love Tickle Me Elmo. I
Tickle Me Elmo
loved
went
Tickle Me Elmo.
nuts.
When they re-released Tickle Me Elmo, first of all, when I had the original Tickle Me Elmo, I took it with me everywhere, and then they re-released it, and I remember forcing my father to go wait online for it for like one because like there used to be like there was like a line outside of the store to get them when they re-released them, and yeah, I love that. But a Love Love is kind of like a Tickle Me Elmo. It's like a cross between a Furby and like some other thing. You can look it up if you want to, and it like yeah. And it like laid an egg, and then it had like a baby Love Love. Are you looking at it, James? Are you looking at it?
Funny.
It's
That's funny.
WUV is what it was called. It's very scary now that I'm looking at it now. I'm like, why did I want this? But I have a very specific childhood memory of getting one.
How do you
uh
spell WUVLAB?
no, WUVLUV. It's like very creepy alien looking thing.
Yeah, I've never seen these, but
It was a short time period. It was short lived, but it kind of looks like a Furby. But yeah, Furbies were a big thing too.
Oh
And
my
I used to love
gosh.
my Furby. Hmm?
No, I'm looking at it. I'm like,
I know.
I feel
Furbies,
like there was a whole like Hatchables, a bunch of different Hatchables that went kind of viral.
yeah,
And I remember Trolls. I know you
yes.
don't. You don't remember
I do
Trolls.
remember Trolls. I
Okay,
would
okay.
how Jaja.
Cabbage Patch Kids. If you want to even go further back, but
I
if you want
had
to
a
go
Cabbage Patch
forward,
Kid.
people were fighting over the Frozen Barbies that came out.
Oh, I know.
Elsa and Anna, there were people fighting over those. And then I know like slime is like a huge thing with kids these days.
Flying? What?
Slime. Slime.
Oh,
Like
slime.
sticky,
Yes, slime is slime.
sticky
Well, first of
slime.
all, slime is very therapeutic. I have a thing of slime, and it's I would say it's not just for kids. It's not. Like
Yeah, they be making their own
if
slime.
you like ASMR and you like it's very relaxing to like actually like play with slime.
They're like making their slime from scratch
I'm
and
gonna do, I'm gonna
adding
do it.
stuff to it to make the texture different. Like
Yes,
slime is a huge.
I have a bunch of
Yeah.
different ones and they have stuff on the inside and it makes like different noise when you like squish it. I listen, if you are an ASMR person, I recommend slime for adults because it is great for anxiety. I will say.
I, I
I support
support
that.
it in the name of science.
I was on a big slime kick. I have like 6 cans of slime behind me that I haven't touched in a while, but
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. Um, wow, what a tangent we've gone on. But all this to say, I would watch a movie about Toys R Us if they put the classic toys in there from our childhood. If they're putting new toys in there, I don't care about that. But there could be a big market for the millennial generation if they market it towards that. Because obviously that was when Toys R Us was around.
Yeah,
So,
look at the memory lane we just went down just thinking about toys.
yes,
So I
there's
think
like,
a
Yeah,
movie like that could do well.
yeah, it has a lot of potential for sure.
there's
So
potential there. Mhm.
hopefully they don't mess it up. We'll see. All right. Anything else before we wrap up for this week, guys?
Yeah, Clippers in 6, by the way.
Knicks in 6. And hopefully Orlando comes back and beats Boston because, yeah, I'm about that Orlando Magic's team right now.
I like that team.
Yay, basketball. Woo. All right. Thanks for joining us for another week of the podcast. If you are going to be at Villains Ball this week, we'll see you there. James is the celebrity guest. He is going to be judging the cosplay contest in his town where everybody knows him. So look for us there. But as always, you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. No, whoa, not Twitter. Instagram at Blerdsnerds, TikTok, blerdsnerds_pod. Email us, blerdsnerds@gmail.com if you are a creator of color in the nerd space and want to come on to talk about your work, or if you have any episode suggestions that you want to hear us talk about. You can subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to see the visuals, because we're always showing stuff on here and forgetting to say to subscribe to YouTube when we show things. So like last week when I showed the portal and didn't say what it was. So I'm just like, oh, that must not have been good for the people that were just listening. My bad, guys. We'll get better at that. But watch us on YouTube. And you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcast listening app of choice. As always, I'm Shannon.
I'm James.
I'm Jaja.
Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Peace.